Lisa Glanz is one of my favorite Procreate artists. She has created a lot of resources, and one of the resources that I like of hers are her Procreate brushes. Now, she's made more brushes than these. She's got a character set and she's got a lot of Photoshop brushes too. Today, I'm going to be looking at her Procreate drawing brushes. She has about 6. The brushes are Nitty Gritty, Effortless Gouache, Aquarelle, Plush, which is a pencil and dry media brush, Instant Artist, and Delicious Texture. So let's get started. So I'm beginning with Nitty Gritty. I really like Lisa's pencil. It's very nice for sketching and lining your work. One cool thing that she does is that she lines her work and then she puts it on color burn. So then when you draw over it and you fill your layer, the line pops out. So that's a really nice tip that she gave in one of her tutorials, and I really implement that, especially when I'm using this Nitty Gritty brush set. I like it because it's kind of grungy and it's very storybook. So that is the first brush set I'm looking at. Another thing I do regularly in Procreate is when I want to shade, I put my top layer into overlay, and then what I do is I paint in white and black to feed the color that is closest to the bottom layer. So overlay is a really it's a secret tip that a lot of people do share. I don't know if you know it, but it's a great tip. When you want to shade your illustration, you can put your layer into overlay and do a lot of shading. I first do a base color, and then over that I do some shading, and then over that I do detail work. So this is the approach I'll be looking at for all the cactuses that I'll be painting and coloring in today. So this is looking at the Nitty Gritty. One thing that's nice about the Nitty Gritty brush set is that it has a lot of texture shading. So you'll get an abundance of texture shading in this brush set. Effortless Gouache is I would say, an underrated brush set. She hasn't done many tutorials about this brush set. The paint in this, when you use it with your Apple Pencil, it's a bit heavy. It's nice, it's subtle, it's not as intense as other people's gouache. I really like how her paints shade. I like how they respond and they look like real paints. The gouache is not actually my favorite brush set of hers. I really like Aquarelle and I really like Plush and I really like Nitty Gritty. But this one is a nice brush set, but I wouldn't say it's her best, but it's a fantastic one if you want to give a very painterly kind of look. Aquarel is one of the nicest watercolor brushes I've used. Of course, I'm a very loyal Calvin Drifter Studio brush set user, but Lisa Glanz's Aquarel is another level because it adds shading while you're painting with her brush sets, and that's really cool. It you don't need to do a lot of selection and hue and saturation. It really plays around with your hue and saturation when you're painting with it. What I also enjoy about her Aquarel brush set is that you can layer the colors really well. It's really fun that way. The shading part is superb. Like, you can really get a very nice buildable. I know I'm sounding like I'm giving a makeup tutorial, but these paints, that the digital paints, are very buildable, so you can get a very nice real look. So I mean, it's very nice that she chose a name like Aquarel because it's very true to the name. Again, I really enjoy her shading. Like, you can really do a lot with her shading in her brush sets. Her blending brushes are okay. They're nice. They do remove the texture when you paint with it, but then you can add your grain, and you can add a stamp to kind of make it more variant. Her stamps are fantastic. So especially in her Aquarel set. Her detailing range is excellent in this one as well. You've got a sketch pencil, then you've got your paint. So I really enjoy the variant brush sets you get when it comes to watercolors. The plush and pencil dry media brush set is, I would say, one of the finest brush sets in Procreate. It looks like pencil, it looks like paint, and it's jagged, it's grainy, it's textured. It's very close to nitty gritty, but very intense. So it's got a lot of elements that you can use. You can use the grain brushes for blending really well. So I really enjoy the brush set here. I'm also enjoying a cup of tea while I'm talking to you about these brush sets, because this process took a long time to do. Each and every one was a lot and intense. But I really enjoyed this brush set a lot. Lisa Glanz brushes are very children's illustration friendly. So even if you see her grain in her brushes and her shading brushes, they give a very nice whimsical look, and I really enjoy that. Of course, one of the things I did in this was I went a bit crazy with the grain. I was just showing the brush set and how it works, but you can go crazy with the grain and you don't need to go crazy with the grain. Another thing in the shadow, she creates a shadow and then she freehand presses the shading inside to give it like a very nice look. This was a tip I got from her in her tutorials, which is super fun. Instant Artist is a very fun painterly look. It's again very good for shading. All her paint brushes are great for shading, but it gives you options of grain, it gives you options of paint. I haven't used the Instant Artist in my regular drawings as much as I've used others like Nitty Gritty or Aquarel, but I discovered this more, and this is what I learned from, where her Instant Artist has fantastic pens, colors, tones, grunge looks. It looks a little bit like watercolor and gouache as well, but it's got a lighter hand when it comes to the look. As you can see, everything is next to you. Like for example, Nitty Gritty and Pencil have a lot of green. Effortless and Aquarelle look like paint, and Instant Artist has a nice combination of both. I love her pattern brushes in this one as well. She's got a lot of ranges of flowers and very whimsical patterns that you get with this brush set. Delicious Texture primarily is a brush set which has textures, but it has a lot of nice painting brushes as well. I really enjoy the butter knife. Lisa's pencil originally made it in this brush set, and it's fantastic again for line work. I really like the butterly knife pen. It's really good. Delicious Texture surprisingly is a lot more easier to work with, and it gives you your result a lot more faster than the other. Like, you have to work for the other brushes, but this one is very easy to kind of get the final look that you want. I found this super fast. But again, it's great for textures. It's got excellent stamps. It's got, if you want to play around with the opacities above in layers, you can really play with the textures there. So try these out. These are amazing brushes. I've left the link for the brushes down in the description box. What I learned from this is that I really enjoyed Delicious Texture, which I hadn't really played around with it that much before. Also, Lisa in most of her Procreate brushes has stamps. So as you see in each brush set, there's a stamp that you can use to enhance the background and kind of give it a very nice look. I really like I used a gray with the shadow, so it looked really nice with the stamps, and the cactus really popped out. So try that. It's super fun to play around with Procreate brushes. I really had a nice time playing around with these. I hope this helped you. I hope this gives you an idea also. I do think Procreate brushes need to be bought carefully because it's very easy to go crazy and buy a bunch of brushes. But these ones are totally worth it. So I would really recommend these brushes. There is no brush that I would say is not very good. Everything is really good and everything has its place. But if you are a children's illustrator especially, these brushes are fantastic when you want to have that beautiful whimsical look. It's great. Lisa Glanz's brushes are not very good for realism or realistic paintings, in my opinion, but they work really well with whimsical drawings and very nice for even abstract work if you want to do, because it looks painterly. It looks like you're painting things on the digital canvas. So she also gives papers with her brush kits. So try it out, check it out. I think you will enjoy it, and let me know if this has helped you and added value to your existence. And I hope you really enjoy your digital journey, and this gives you a nice overview. Thanks for joining me. I will catch you in the next video.